I know I'm a bit late to this topic, but I recently got done watching the Backrooms movie, and oh my gosh, holy peak. So many stuff to go over and talk about. Let's just get straight into it. This video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't watched the movie yet, go watch it. I'll also be covering the movie Obsession sometime in a later video though. Anyways, the movie starts off with a guy in the back rooms, and he is currently running away from something or someone. Later off, the guy gets killed, and we cut to a scene of Clark's therapy session. If you don't know who Clark is, he's the main character of the Backrooms movie. After Clark's therapy session, we cut to a scene of Mary, who's also Clark's therapist, and she's currently watching TV. After that, we cut to another scene of Clark also watching TV, which I thought he was watching TV in his house. Like, actually, I legitimately thought that, until I realized he was watching TV in his freaking furniture store. And come to find out, he actually lives in the furniture store because he's, you guessed it right, homeless. Anyways, the power all of a sudden goes out. Clark, being confused, he goes to the basement of the furniture store to figure out what is going on. After turning the power back on, he goes back upstairs, but he notices something. A light, which looked like it was in between the walls. If that was me, I would have just walked away, but since this is a horror movie, he just has to go check it out. So he goes to check it out, until he puts his hand on the wall and then, da-da-da-dun, it goes through. So he falls into the wall until he enters the backrooms, and he goes to explore. As he goes to explore, he finds a bunch of random stuff, but one scene that really stuck out to me. I'll just describe it the best way that I possibly can. There's like a door, right? But like the door is like small, like extremely small, about the size of an air vent. Clark goes through that door, which leads to multiple other rooms. And then we get to a scene where Clark is running away for something, or someone. I meant to say from someone, I'm sorry, my script is just, it has so many typos. Anyways, as he runs away, he loops back to exactly where he came from, which is crazy to me, by the way. And he goes back to the store. But then he decides to come back. Like, seriously, why did you come back? Anyways, the reason why he came back was to just go get a chair, which, okay, I guess. Anyways, as Clark is just sitting there processing what just happened, he tries to tell his therapist about what just happened. And Mary, being the good therapist she is, obviously she states him as crazy. Clark lashes out and then he says, "I'm gonna come back here with proof." So he goes to his friend / assistant manager's house of the store, and he brings them along to go explore the backrooms. As they go to explore, they find a really steep drop, and one of them decides to go in there, which is a really stupid idea. You don't even know what's down there, but okay, I guess. So he goes in there, and you guessed it, he got killed. So now Clark, being all alone and his friends going missing, he just runs all over the place to try to find a way to escape. He tries to find one of his friends, so he has to put the camera down for that. Until the most horrifying thing ever happens. Somebody else picked up the camera. So now we don't know what happens to Clark. Anyways, we cut back to a scene with Mary having a flashback of her mom. And since her mom is mentally insane, like my dad, she either had to go with another parent or she had to take care of herself. Anyways, as Mary goes to the furniture store to check on Clark, she goes downstairs to find a wall that's like taped up as like a door. And then she instantly gets a flashback. The flashback shows about Mary getting a map to the backrooms. Sorry again, I can barely read my own script, but anyways, she discovers the backrooms and she realized what Clark was talking about was right. So now she's in the backrooms looking for Clark. After a while, she eventually finds Clark hiding. Not within a few seconds, we hear a noise, and we can see Clark hiding behind Mary before he chokes her. Yes, bro betrays her. Imagine being betrayed by your own therapy client. Yeah, I can't relate. Anyways, we get a scene of Mary waking up, and we can clearly see that Clark has gone insane. Anyways, the scene gets really emotional. I'm not really gonna get into it, but Clark says he likes the place. Mary says he can stay there, just let her go. So Clark lets her go. Until a giant 7-foot tall entity walks up, and he looks like Clark, but not really. These are called duplicates. They're basically copies of themselves. I mean, yourselves. But they just live in the backrooms. So the duplicate version of Clark, we're just gonna call him Monster Clark. He kills the real Clark, but then Mary escapes. After a big chase scene, which is absolute peak by the way, no glaze, Mary makes it back to the furniture store, but it's not really the furniture store. It's part of the backrooms, meaning she's still in the backrooms and not the real furniture store. Anyways, after breaking Monster Clark's ankles, no, like literally, she literally broke her ankles. No, broke his ankles. Oh my gosh, let me just type this out in the script. After Mary breaks his ankles. Okay, there. After Mary breaks his ankles, we cut to a scene where she finds a bunch of guys with hazmat suits on. They take her to the real world for some questioning, and she describes everything she saw in there. No, everything she sees in there. Why is this script so trash? Whatever, let me just get this over with. The scene ends with Mary in the backrooms, but it's not actually Mary in the backrooms. It's actually her duplicate. And that's basically the movie. Anyways, let's move on to what I think about the movie. So after I watched the movie, what did I think about it? It was absolutely amazing. A literal cinematic masterpiece. Yup, a cinematic masterpiece. But it was amazing. 9 out of 10, I really loved it. I like how the fact that they said F regular horror and went straight to psychological. Like, that was insane. Literally the whole time it had me at the edge of my seat. Not only because the plot was interesting, but I was also on edge about what was gonna happen next. Did I just say what? Are we serious? I'm sorry, I'm just bad at reading scripts. Anyways, the movie was amazing. I just love everything about it, and I hope they make a sequel too. You guys would already see me in the movie theaters. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Sorry this video was, low-key kind of short. I was trying to keep it short because, animating just, takes a long time. Like my avatar that you see right now. But yeah, drop suggestions on what I should cover next. That's basically it. And remember, I love you. No homo, by the way.